Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that I received through TikTok. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please post my story as unknown. When I was speaking with my cousin sister, she is only 19 years old. When I told her that when I was involved in this relationship with a Nigerian dude, there was a period where I was being raped by Tokoloshis, she actually laughed at me and I felt so sorry for her. As I'm speaking with you right now, she is in Dubai and she has been there from 20 November. Now we are in January. They are having a time of their life. She was even saying that I am going to be like Speed. I'll be traveling all over the world, enjoying my time with her Nigerian blesser. He is a married guy and she knows this, but she does not care. When I spoke with her about this, after her mom had told me that I was supposed to talk to her because it seems as if she does not care anymore about having morals. She was actually shouting at that Nigerian's wife after she had found out that she is in Dubai with her husband. She said a lot of stuff using a lot of vulgar to that woman on WhatsApp. So then that woman got my cousin's sister's mom phone numbers and they spoke on WhatsApp. And she is Venda. She was like, do you know what I can do to your daughter? I can have her cookie closed up. She'll never be able to sleep with a man, even to go on her periods ever again. And she will die. She is messing up with me. She is with my husband in Dubai. And my husband lied to me that he's going to Nigeria. She only found out when she saw an email that contained the tickets of my cousin sister and her Nigerian boyfriend. They were headed to Dubai and she got the details and everything from the tickets. It was in the email. So my cousin sister, I then sat with her down on WhatsApp and I spoke with him and I said, do you know that there was even a time when I was also doing the same thing that you are doing? I thought that maybe I was much wiser because I'm beautiful. There was a time when I was being raped by a Tokoloshi. This used to happen each and every night. When it will be 8 p.m., I will feel so dizzy. Then I would go to bed. Then I would sleep. The moment that I would sleep, there will be an old short man that was so fat that would enter into the bedroom where I will be sleeping. That man will start to rape me. For 2 rounds, it will rape me, then it will walk away. She laughed and she said, that is pure evil. It sounds like a movie. And I said, you are laughing at me, but I'm trying to tell you what was happening to me. And she just laughed at me anyway. So I have tried to speak with him, but just like me, she is very arrogant. It is only that, as for me, I found out later that being arrogant in life, it really does not take you anywhere. She will share her story one day. I know all the things that she will witness. Maybe her blesser is not like mine, but the fact that he is a married guy, it is just doesn't sound good. I don't know where she has taken her morals to. I was also in that same situation. We used to share a blesser. I was not the only girlfriend, and yet I was a pastor's daughter, but I enjoyed being called in brackets his Nigerian slave. Before you feel sorry for me, I need you to understand something clearly about me. Just like my cousin sister, I used to be arrogant and I thought that beauty is all that matters in this world. I used to live like an ultra slay queen type of a life. Each and every time I would be at a club. And at the beginning, when I started doing this, my mom used to tell me to stop going to clubs because I was the daughter of a pastor and I would go to church early Sunday morning, yet on Saturday I would be at a club, even sleeping with men, in the bathrooms at the club. I really did not care. So I was not even a victim when I got to find out about this Nigerian blesser who was very wealthy. I was willing and I was excited, and I enjoyed each and every sadistic thing that we did together, role playing, so many OGs that we used to have at his house. And I know that there are people that are going to say, so why are you confessing if you used to be excited and you were never a victim? I also want to help other women, like I'm trying to help my cousin sister, to see that there is tomorrow. You still would want to get married, so why waste your time, your body on these men that just want to use you? I'm a South African woman born into the church. My father is a pastor known in our community. I grew up fasting, praying, and going to church at all the times, dressing in a nice way, but I used to keep some of my other clothes at my friend's house, those clothes that are so revealing. I would get out of the house wearing a long dress, even with a jacket on. But when I would go to my friend's house, then I would remove those clothes. I avoided keeping bad company. But after I became friends with the wrong people, that was when I started to date blessers. I think that I was rebellious. You see, when you grow up being a child of pastors, most of the people, they wonder, why is it that the children of those people that pray quite a lot, they end up being rebellious, even joining Satanism? It is because you do not know the grace of God. Everything just flows. When your parents fast for 21 days or more, sometimes they don't tell you that they are going through the fasting period. All that you see is your parents enjoying life, and you think that it is just the grace of God and you don't need to pray for it. So that is what happens to the children of those that pray quite a lot. They end up not understanding what is it that they are supposed to do to help their parents. So I was very rebellious. Whenever my mom would force me to read the Bible, I would pretend that I'm reading the Bible, yet I'll be watching a movie. And then I became friends with this girl that was very naughty. I ended up leaving home, and when I was staying with my friend, because I just hated being around my parents, this girl, she would go with me to different clubs, and she introduced me to the nightlife. And I then met a Nigerian man who was also dating. Then we had our first threesome together. I was totally knocked off. I was drunk, and the next morning we were given money by the guy. So slowly but surely I was introduced to that life. This was a Nigerian guy. He operated between Sandton, Midrand, and Fourways. He lived a very nice life, the type of a life that you see in the movies. At his house, there will be parties almost each and every day. And when I talk about party, it's not like these parties, it will be noisy. No, just low type of music, lo-fi type of thing, and people getting drunk, people taking pills that I don't even know how to pronounce their names. These were like drugs. He would drink sex pills so that he can please all the women that would be at his house, and he will pay you. And we called him OGA. That was the name that he wanted to be called by his women. When I entered into his world, it felt like I had passed an exam. This guy, he had plenty of women, and being chosen by him, it felt special, as if you had been selected. A guy that can give you girlfriend allowance of 20k, and he is dating more than 10 girlfriends. You feel like you are special. Like, he asked even about my family. He cared about my Christian faith. And when I told him that my father was a pastor, he liked it quite a lot. And he said that he had never been with a pastor's daughter before. I was introduced to the other women gradually, not all at once. The only woman that I knew was the original wife, who was like much older than he was, because He had been a Ben 10 when he arrived in South Africa, got married to an elderly woman who was a South African, and he got his papers and put that woman in a home because she was an orphan. She had no relatives. She only had that Ben 10, the Nigerian guy. We ended up putting her in an old people's home. So the house that he had was marvelous. I knew about my friend. She was the main girlfriend, so I thought, but I found out that it is 12 of us young South African women whom he was dating. We were not like his girlfriend. He used to call us his disciples. This was like some satanic type of level, XIT. I'm telling you, it's like I had joined a real cult. We ended up moving into Sandton, 12 girls. We would be sleeping in the same bedroom. So 6 girls were staying at one of the estate, and then 6 other girls were staying at the other estate. So the new ones will be staying with him, but there were times when we would meet under one roof. We would stay together. Same standard of living, same holidays, same privileges, and we dressed well, even though when we would go out, we would never go out with him because it would look really weird. He would take one for a date Monday, another one Tuesday, another Wednesday, and then he will start again over and over again. What really surprised me was that there was no jealousy, no personal attachments, but we started acting demonic, like we started sleeping with each other. Even when our Nigerian boyfriend was not around, like we were madly in love with each other. I mean, the girls, me and my friend, we would sleep with each other whenever we would see each other naked. She would have like high sex drive, and she would come to me and take me to another room. We would make mad love. I don't know what kind of juju charms this Nigerian guy had, and there was no living without permission, and we really loved our men, whom we called our OGA, our husband. So like the type of a lifestyle, it was some type of PDD lifestyle, XIT, and we followed the rules, not because he made us to feel fearful, but he gave us money. I was being given 20k in girlfriend's allowance each and every month. No need to worry about food, clothes. He would just say, girls, it is time for you to order online. Then all of us, we would go on Shein. Then we would order the clothes that we wanted. We had maids that prepared everything for us. These were Nigerian women. They also seemed as if they were wealthy. I even wondered why the hell these women would be going around cleaning our stuff. We just thought that maybe it was because our boyfriend, he was super rich. They were the nights when we had weird sex. We used to call them weird nights. We would go and we would buy some sex toys, anal plugs, all that stuff, and he would sleep with us. Sim 1, Sim 2, it really did not even matter. Some will be doing themselves with those dildo toys. Others, he would be sleeping with them directly. Other girls will be sleeping with each other. Like, he would tell us that we were his Nigerian slaves. He would even buy some dog collars for us during the weird nights. We would tell us that we had to put those collars on and start to act as if we were dogs. We would even bark, and he would even do some terrible stuff like to urinate on the floor, and then he would be like, you have to lick up all of it so that it can be dry. Like, we were confused. Maybe he was using some charms on us. So what made me to leave was that there were 3 of the girls that I was in love with that were also part of the girls that belonged to Oga. They passed away, these girls. They died in a horrific accident. All of them, they were from the Eastern Cape. So they were going back home and they had been given one of the cars that OGA never let any of us drive. It was a Range Rover, and he never wanted anyone to drive that Range Rover. Then he gave it to the girls. They were all Xhosa. They were going to visit their families, for they had been in Joburg for a long time. When they went there, they were loaded with money. He had given them some money. Some of it was hard cold cash. One girl that I was madly in love with, because she knew how to lick me well down there whenever we would have our weird nights in secret. So she came to me and she was like, I don't know, why is it that he has given us this cash? I told him to deposit the money into the account, and he said, no, we can just keep it cash. I think they had about 150K, all of them in cash. They had an accident, my brother, and the money that they had was the one that was used on their funeral. And I also wanted to go there, but when these girls were in the mortuary, he brought in 3 new girls that he started sleeping with in his main bedroom. Like, that was the rule. A new girl he sleeps with until he is done, then he can start calling you, then you can join in on the fun. So I said, this one, it is too much Satanism that is happening in this place. And then I decided to walk away. My friend, she is still there. She is like, what else can I do, Chomi? This guy, I love him. He sees me. I also see him. And I told you that no, there is no such thing like you see him. He sees you. He is just manipulating you. And you have these dark sexual fantasies that he is using so that he can sleep with as many women as he can. He uses real juju, that guy, because when I was there, I never thought about life. What is life going to give to me? I never even bothered to care. All that I cared about was being around him in his arms with my other sisters around me, because we used to call ourselves the 12 sisters or the disciples. Your dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister right there. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. 12 women all at once. The things that money will do to a man. Let us speak with our dear sister in the comment section. She is saying that she was into that type of a lifestyle. She enjoyed it. She only walked away after the other woman that she was madly in love with died in a horrific car accident. And she started to see that the Nigerian guy really does not care about them, because he brought in 3 new girlfriends. Let us talk about this in the comment section.